ನೋಡಿ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರೇ, ಪುನರ್ಜನ್ಮ ಸೊಳ್ಳು ಪೊಳ್ಳು ಜೊಳ್ಳು ಅಂತ ಜನಗಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಬರೀ ಪೇಪರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಇದು ಅದು ನಿಜನೋ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಪಾಂಟೇನಿಯಸ್ ರೀಕಾಲ್ ಆಫ್ ರೀಬರ್ತ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೇಸು ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆಗಡೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೃದುಲಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಕೂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇವರು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅದ್ರ ವಿಚಾರವಾಗಿ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳೋದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಕೆಲವುದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲಿ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅವರು ಹಿಂದಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿ ಈಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ವರ್ಸ್ಡ್. ಮೇಡಮ್, ಈಗ ನಾವೊಂದು ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈ ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪುನರ್ಜನ್ಮ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೆ ದಾಖಲೆ ಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ನಾವು ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಕೇಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಜನಗೆ ರಿಯಲ್ಲಾಗಿ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಒಂದು ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅರವಿಂದ್ ಅವರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಯು ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ enlighten the humanity that rebirth is a true and it is also scientific, and for that they want many evidences. Your life story in the past and present life. You please now first tell your present life and then how you remembered and then how you contacted your past life father, mother, why you are expired in the past life, when all those things whatever you are remembering at that time. In that order you please educate our society.
Sir, you've given me the order to start from this life.
Yes.
But I have been telling my story starts from my past life when I was dying.
You are all right.
People ask me, how did you remember? Now, why I remembered was because my mother knew I'm dying and she asked me to come back.
Come back. Okay, very good.
So I start from there.
Yes, then it's very nice.
I had cancer, suffering from cancer.
At what age?
Between 23 and 24.
24.
Because I died at 24.
At that time, what you were doing?
I was studying MA.
Studying in MA in Hindi. Now you tell the location.
Yes, it was in Banaras Hindu University. I was studying.
So you were born in which place?
I was born in Dehradun.
Uttarakhand. What was your father and mother?
My father was a zamindar. And my mother, of course, by virtue of getting married there, she became the Sethani. And she was a highly educated person from, she had done her studies in Hathras Gurukul, Sanskrit.
Her good name?
She was Sethani
Satyavati, okay.
My father was Seth Ramkishore.
Seth Ramkishore.
Yes. So now what they did, father of course had to look after his properties.
Yes.
And my mother was pulled out of her home by the freedom workers who were working for freedom. And she was, of course, they utilized her capabilities to the hilt. So she was president of Arya Samaj, president of Mahila Ashram, and Sarvodaya and all those. This is like, on all the other women.
Yes.
Now people don't understand how empowered those women were. But I have grown up within them now, this life also.
How big was your estate? This thing?
It was, I mean, fathomless. You can't say how big it was.
More than 40 miles.
To say estate is a very small thing. They had jungles, 40 miles of jungles one
Jungles
side.
also.
The other side. And they were so big that they fed the British Army for 6 months.
6 months?
6 months they fed.
Fed.
One side they were working towards freedom, but the other side they fed the army.
Army. In your that jungle and estate, rather big estate, elephants were also there.
Elephants were there. There were 6 elephants at home also.
Home also.
There were tigers at home. My chacha.
Tigers also. Oh.
My chacha had kept them. They were shikaris, no?
Shikari.
Now you can't. That was a game for them.
Yes.
So now you can't say it doesn't sound good because government has also put restrictions. And we can't kill
any animal.
But that time it was such. And my father was a very good shikari, and he always...
Shikari means hunter. Hunter, okay. Because when they are in jungle, naturally they must possess a weapon, okay.
No, they did not live in jungle. They lived in a posh brick house in Dehradun. And there were havelis and all. Those havelis, you know, where the elephant, the entrance was so huge. So that the elephant can come in with the howdah on top.
Okay.
You know, such huge entrances were there.
Okay.
And it was like a small township inside.
Then, how, as a child, you are educated there? What all you are made study up to?
Actually, whatever I would be speaking to you, some things I remember now also. That day when I met them, when I went to the house and all. But I used to get jittery when my parents, my mothers, both the mothers, would speak to anyone, would give the story to others. I didn't like it. So it wasn't very openly told in front of me, but whatever I heard, that little bit I can tell you.
Because at the time you were a child.
I was a child also.
And something fun is going on between past life.
People coming and touching my feet and putting garlands and saying Devi, Devi and all. It's little child. You can't.
Naturally.
I had come here for my parents.
It also happened in case of Santi Devi of Delhi. So, and Mathura, she was past life, she was born in Mathura, then in Delhi.
Okay.
Our Rashtra Pitamaha Gandhi, after coming to know about all these things, so he a committee was formed through him, and most of the committee members are judges and parliamentarians. They went and investigated. At that time, the people came to know that that girl is remembering past life. There also they are going. So many people were going to their feet and putting her garland, all those things. So okay, now continue. So
I had to start why I remembered. So I was dying. They brought me back. They had taken me to Bombay, the Tata Memorial Hospital. There they said, no, nothing can be done now. She is going to die. So they used to say, my parents used to say, bijli zyada ho gayi thi, which I think radiation, you know, they over-radiated me.
And also metastasis, we say.
Okay.
That is, it spread throughout the body. It is called metastasis. Okay.
So they knew now she's going to die. And 15 days before my death, I stopped speaking too. And I didn't like to talk to anyone. I told my mother, "Meri vritti kharab mat karo." You understand that? My vritti.
Vritti.
You know? So, like, I'm going. Don't involve me in this world.
So you, at that time, you came to know that you are going up. Okay.
So one Swamiji was appointed who used to read Upanishad shlokas for me.
Daily?
Yes.
Okay.
And daily one Mali used to come with flowers to my room. So my mother said, that a time of anguish, she said, "Tum ja rahi ho, aa jana. You are going. You must come back."
ಆಗ ಅವ್ರು ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕಷ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅವ್ರ ತಾಯಿ ಲವ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಮಗಳು ಅಂತ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಗಳೇ ನೀನು ಹೋಗಬೇಡ ನೀನು ಬಾ ಬಾ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಾ ಇದ್ರು.
So I did okay, like I moved my head. So everyone is born.
Yes. And ಅವ್ರ ಮದರು ಮಗಳೇ ನೀನು ಹೋಗಬೇಡ ಇನ್ನು ಬದುಕಿರು ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ Yes, mummy, you are telling. Okay.
Didn't speak, but I moved
but
my couldn't
only
speak,
nodding
couldn't
the
speak.
head. Okay.
Then she said, "Or yaad bhi rakhna." Remember also, because everyone is born.
But yes.
How would she know where her child is?
Okay.
So I said, "Dekhi jayegi. We'll see about it."
So,
I couldn't promise. I'll remember.
no, your mother wanted you to remember them
Yes.
again. You remember remember us all the time. You told, you nodded your head. Yes, I will come back.
To remember after coming back, to remember where you were and all that.
She has given in a way. So
that they can know where their daughter is.
In a way, she has suggested
That is it.
that you remember us wherever you are born. Again, you come back. Like that, she told. So that shows a suggestion by a mother with a heart full of love at the time of death has underwent transformation into an action so that you are able to remember in the next life. And for that her call, now in the next life you are able to meet them.
Right.
Okay, very good.
So now I tell you from this life.
Yes, from this life.
I was born in
Nasik,
to Punjabi parents.
Punjabi parents.
And I was in my maternal grandfather's house.
Punjabi means which profession?
Punjab. But
Six?
no.
Not six?
No.
Oh.
My mother
Brahmins.
and father, they lived, Brahmins.
Brahmins.
In Sikhs also we have Brahmins.
Yes.
But
So you mean to say in that past life, you are Vaishya.
Vaishya.
In this life, you are a
Brahmin.
Brahmin family. What was your father in this life?
He was a document expert.
Document
and
expert.
He worked in Delhi.
Delhi.
So my mother and father lived in Delhi.
Delhi.
And he was so good in his work that Sardar Patel offered him a job after independence. So he refused. These Brahmins, no, I don't want to work under anyone.
Yes.
So the salary was higher than the MP's salary.
MP salary at that time.
At that time, he was to be given one bungalow in Delhi with a car, servants and all that, driver, and one in Simla.
Yes.
That was how the English also worked, no? He refused. So, but he was doing it on his own. And then he fell sick. Very, it was bad. My mother and father went to Bareilly, where my paternal family was. His mother...
Bareilly means Raebareli?
UP. No, not Raebareli.
Okay,
Bareilly.
Bareilly.
It is in UP. And my father's mother, father, brothers, their wives, everyone.
All those things.
Yeah.
Your family.
And my
family.
his sister. They were all in Bareilly.
Okay, Bareilly. Okay.
But he didn't like it there. He then asked my mother to call her father and take him to Nasik. So they came to Nasik. And
in the Nasik you are born?
Yes. I was born in Nasik. And 40 days after my birth, my father died. So now my aunt, my mother's sister, she was in Nairobi. She was a teacher there.
Nairobi, Africa. Okay.
So she arranged for a job for my mother. As it is, she had that Gurukul experience. She wasn't a teacher in Gurukul, but she was studying and she would look after. There was a class 8, which was a rowdy class. No one could control them, but my mother controlled them. So any difficult task, the Gurukul would give it to her.
She was a troubleshooter.
And whenever the principal had gone for donations, because it ran on donation, so that time my mother used to work as acting principal.
Okay.
So now my aunt had suggested this post for her, and she needed a visa for it, which was called permit. At that time it was called permit.
Okay.
For permit she came to Delhi.
Delhi.
The house was there. She didn't give up that house for 4-5 years more. And there she met her principal of Gurukul. I'm telling you how I came to meet my parents.
Past life parents.
Past life parents.
So your mother was in Gurukul.
She was studying in Gurukul before
Gurukul.
marriage. Before she got married.
Before marriage, your mother was studying,
In Gurukul.
in Gurukul. And in the Gurukul was under the control of your
Of her principal. Acharya Vidyavati Seth. She was the first BA from UP.
UP.
So she said, you're going to Nairobi, it's okay, but you come, we have started another school and the anniversary functions are around the corner, like 2-3 days later. Okay, before this, I started speaking at 15 months of age.
15 months. At
Which
the
is
age
quite early.
At the age of 15 months, that is 1 year, 3
This
months.
was in Nasik, yeah.
That in Nasik, okay.
And I used to say, मेरी कोठी है, मुझे मेरी कोठी पे ले चलो. Kothi means a big house.
Big house.
And वहाँ then my uncle once he shouted at me, he said, have you seen yourself? कहाँ से आ गई कोठी? From where did you get the kothi? They didn't understand, but and my mother thought, I used to say मेरी कोठी है, बड़ी दूर है, देहरादून में है. So my mother thought that Dehradun word has got stuck to her. She asked me, कहाँ है? बॉम्बे में है, लुधियाना में है, दिल्ली में है. I would say no, देहरादून में है.
देहरादून में है, okay.
So that kept going till I was 2 years and 9 months old.
2 years, 9 months.
Yeah, we came to Delhi for mother's permit.
So almost 1 to 1.5 years you are
just talking.
remembering about these things. Okay. These memories were coming to you. Okay.
So once someone asked something from my mother and she said, नहीं है, तो घर में नहीं है. I said, है, मेरे घर में है. Mother was like, you put her down. She's telling lies. She said, कहाँ है? said, मेरे घर में है, देहरादून में है. Like that. So, okay, then because her principal asked her to come to Dehradun, and I was also ranting about Dehradun, so we came to Dehradun. 2 days, 3 days later was the anniversary function.
Function there.
And my mother was the president of this place. That mother.
Past life mother was the president of that function.
Of the school.
School, president of the school. Now you went there with present life mother. You as a child you went there, the function. What happened there?
Then there also I just kept saying, मेरी कोठी है, I've got lychees, बहुत अच्छी lychees है in my house. Somebody got lychees. I said, मुझे कोठी में ले चलो.
What is the definite meaning of koti?
Koti is a huge big house.
Big house. Oh my, बड़ा घर का लेको चलो there.
That house was in 40 bighas. 40 bighas. Huge big place.
Big estate. Big
house. Estate.
And almost it is a jungle.
No, there we grew, wheat also was grown. The far end.
Yes.
There was.
So all type of agricultural were there.
But that was not the agriculture was not the profession or anything. It was because it's lying there. Okay, do it. So koti means only your living quarters.
Okay.
Where we had cows, we had buffaloes, we had the servant quarter was there.
Okay.
Like that. So then my mother had to come there because she was the president. The function was there that day.
That day function was there. Your mother has to come because she was a president, and that mother is the past life mother. Yes, now tell me. Okay.
So the car came in. I remember that. That I remember. I said, "वो देखो मेरी car." I didn't see the people sitting in. Then my mother came out. I said, "वो देखो मेरी भाभी." Look, that is my mother. Bhabhi. We used to call her Bhabhi. So when I followed Bhavi wherever she went, a havan was organized. So she sat for the havan. They used to.
Havan. Okay.
So I went and I sat next to her. I put my head on her knee and I kept playing with her sari, dhoti. And then my sister was also there with her 2 daughters. My mother, this mother.
This life mother or past life?
This life mother.
Mother.
I was there busy with my past life mother.
Okay.
My mother asked my sister, have you lost any Bua? Bua is father's sister.
Father sister, Bua.
Because
Sodratte, alva?
Because she's calling her mother Bhabi. Now my sister knew why I'm calling her Bhabi, because we all used to call my Bua, my Chacha, they all used to call her Bhabi.
Bhabi.
So we also started calling her Bhabi. So then she called me, my sister called me. She said, baby, you know me? तुम मुझे जानती हो? I said, हाँ. कौन हूँ मैं? Who am I? I said, तुम छोटो हो. तुम कौन हो? She asked me. Who are you?
That is your
My sister asked
the younger sister.
asked me.
I am Chotu. So
Who are you?
I think you have told your mother also at the time of death. You asked me to come back.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But
okay.
I remembered because of that.
Remember that. Okay.
So she said, तुम कौन हो? I said, मैं मुन्नू हूँ.
Munnu, your elder sister. Okay.
So she took me aside and she kept asking me questions and I rattled answers. Now no one knows what transpired between the two, me and my sister. Because there was no one else and I don't remember.
Your younger sister was elder at that time.
She had 2 children.
Two children. And you are like her small kid.
I was 2 years and 9 months.
9 months.
And her daughter, one daughter was 2 years older than me, the other was 2 years younger than me.
Okay.
So then when everything, the function got over, my sister told her mother, that Bhabi, ho na ho, ye munnu hai. Whether you believe or not, she's munnu.
ಆವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದ ತಂಗಿ ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕ್ಕ ಇದ್ದರು, ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಮುನ್ನ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅವರೇ ಇವರು ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ದೆನ್ ಹೌ ಯುವರ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಮದರ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಡ್?
She said, ये कैसे हो सकता है? How is that possible? And she said, but I know this child loves me so much. And she started crying. She couldn't finish a sentence.
Oh, your younger sister? Mother.
Then, I mean, there were a whole lot of ladies around. This is something extraordinary happening.
It is happening. Why they are crying?
My sister asked for permission to take me home for 1 hour.
1 hour to verify these facts.
Mummy was not very keen on that.
Which
my mother? My mother.
This life mother.
And she said, I mean, she had raised me with much manners, and you know, I used to listen to her.
And very much.
And if she says, "Ke mujhe dukh hoga," so I would not do that work. But here, when she tried to say that, I didn't agree. I wanted to go. That is why I had come for.
So that means the present life mother.
She told me not to go.
Not to go because she don't want to leave her daughter. Because somebody's daughter, she is telling, I am going to lose my daughter.
Right.
In that sense, she was not interested.
And she
not only you. In our Punarjanma stories, every people who do that. Okay.
Yes. No, but everything that happened later was good for me. There was so much of friendship between the 2 mothers.
Afterwards.
So, and they said, we will bring her back in after, my sister said, in an hour's time. Now, all the ladies got after my mother to send me.
Something is, she's telling, nobody can understand. Let us verify. You send your daughter, what is there?
Yes.
So she told and she agreed afterwards. Okay.
On the way, we had to pick up my father. I just turned, And I jumped out of the window of the car. Pitaji, I said, and I went. He sat in the car and he said, "Ye kiska bachcha pakad lai hai? Whose child have you got?"
ಅವರ ತಂದೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗಿ ಈ ಅಮ್ಮ ಅವ್ರನ್ನೇ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅವ್ರ ತಂದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಮಗು ನನ್ನ ತಂದೆ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ಮಗು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಬಂದ್ರಿ, ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಬಂದ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ. ಓಕೆ.
So they, and then my father said, "Arey, do you know me also? I am Sethji's servant." And I got angry. I said, "Why are you calling yourself servant? You are Seth." So anyway, then we reached the crossroad before the house. They stopped the car there, and everyone got out. And they asked me, "Ki chalo, ghar chalo, come go, let's go home." And I ran into, I remember that also, into the gate. Inside, when I went there was some renovation done. I said, "Oh, ye to nahi. I was a little bewildered. It's not looking the same." They understood that they'd renovated a bit of it. I said, "Chalo, aage chalo." So I went up the stairs and I went here and there, and I went to my room and I said, "Darwaza kholo." I remember I removed my shoes and I went into my room. There I went and I saw, "Ye drawing room ka pankha mere kamre mein laga diya." Then the family got thinking, yes, 7 years back that was in the drawing room, and they changed it. And there I saw, it was a double room, you know, like this bay window, the bigger bay, and another bay, and the partition, and little bit of partition. So they made 2 rooms. So one was my sister's and one part was mine, but it was one room. So, and we had cupboards on either side. So there, my cupboard of books was there, and then a small this thing, jewelry box was there, children's jewelry box.
Your jewelry box of the past life was there.
Yeah. So then I couldn't open it. I said, "Open this." They said, "We didn't find the key to it. Ever since you've gone, we haven't found the key to it. So it's just lying." I said, "Oh, that is lying in my history book."
History book.
So
Then you went to the
there only same cupboard. I removed
you opened the cupboard and got the history book. In the history book, the key was there.
It was there, and I opened it, and like that.
Then they were very much able to convince.
Not only that, they just kept my mother mainly. My sister was convinced from the beginning. But my father also. But my mother, she kept examining me. You know, it was such a rich family.
Yes. Somebody come and
they found me there with a widowed mother and Punjabi mother. People were coming from Pakistan. So some refugee, they thought could be, they didn't think, but some people tell me like that. So we were never refugees. In Punjab also, we were from this side. Near Ludhiana, there's a district called Khanna, and near Khanna, within Khanna, there is a small village. We were from there. And my nana, my nana, because I was brought up in my mother's family. You know?
Mother's family. In this life.
In this life.
Okay.
So anyway, what was I telling you? So my mother kept last birth mother. She kept taking. She showed me pictures, and where I am in a sari, and my cousin, her sister's daughters in my lap. She said, "Oh, just see, this is you." She was that was a 2-year-old child. I said, "No, I'm in the sari blouse. This is Mausiji's daughter, Pragya." I gave a name also. So then they showed me my baby picture. I said, "This is when I was young." Like that.
So, your mother was cross-examining and showing somebody photo whether you are there. So, just to know the truth. Then you definitely told, "No, I am not that. I am this." You are also acted as Bharata Mata. Okay, now you are, I mean to say, if the story For Punarjanma story also, your Punarjanma Mata. No, okay.
Okay, my sister was Annapurna and my Morsi was also there. I remember that photo, but I don't have it. And it was in front of the school where I also studied later. So, in 1 month time, my mother said yes, my past birth mother.
To agree that you are a daughter, she examined in all type of verification. It took 1 month for her to convince herself that somebody is not coming and fooling us. So really, my daughter, because she cross-verified everything.
Yes.
Then she also agreed, you are my past life. At that time, any conversation like this, that, Mummy, I told you, you asked me to come back, I came back, like that, anything you told?
No, I didn't say anything.
I
didn't say anything like that. But then the townsfolk also said, if Setaniji said yes, then it will be. And when they saw that small child, no one can teach her, and so much you can't teach her. I asked my mother, where's Nani? My grandmother, her mother.
Grandmother of the past life.
She had died.
She has died, she told.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then in between this 1 month also, I would tell them something or the other.
Other of the past life, that they can verify it. Okay.
My father, as we were going, that father, of course I had him only now. So he was buying mithai.
Mithai.
And I said, Taji, don't buy it from him. Last time we left our purse over here and he didn't give it back to us. Like that.
So last life, in a way, he has cheated us.
Yes.
Why you want to purchase from a cheater?
Correct.
Like that you told.
Correct.
Okay.
Then once we were sitting in an open car and they bought a stemmed balloon for me. You know that stem, it has.
Balloon.
So I held that and I said, Pitaji, let's sing our favorite song, Janda Uncha Rahe Hamara, like that I did. So these were small things. There were many things that the father knew, and the conversation between daughter and father.
Father in the past life, now all those things were explained to him, I mean,
yes.
It made him clear. That
he was from the beginning,
he convinced.
Yes.
But mother,
even mother was convinced. But
still they want to verify.
Still.
Okay.
Then I recognized so many people, so many photographs from the photographs.
So you, in your house, you are having all photos of different people.
Yeah.
In this life, when you went there, you are able to pinpoint their them who are there and then their name and your
the
relation
neighbors,
with them.
my teacher, and there was one Swamiji, well-known Swamiji of Arya Samaj.
Arya Samaj. You identified him also.
He was, I mean, this was another strange thing. We have these 4 ashrams. So he was in Vanprastha ashram. He wore white clothes.
White clothes.
And in between those 7 years, he took sannyas.
Sannyas.
So now he was in sannyasi garb. He was in saffron clothes. So I asked him, I said, Aapne kapde kab rang liye? When did you dye your clothes?
So,
small child.
ಈಗ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಒಬ್ರು ಸ್ವಾಮೀಜಿ ಓದ್ ಜನದಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಚಯ ಇತ್ತು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗೆ. ಆಗ ಅವರು ವೈಟ್ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಆರೆಂಜ್ ಕಲರ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ ವೈಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಹೌ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಆರೆಂಜ್? ಯು ಆಸ್ಕ್ಡ್.
Not orange. I said, when did you dye your clothes? Color your clothes.
ಕಲರಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಟ್ಟೆನ ನೀವು ಕಲರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಡೈ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. ಓಕೆ.
So like that, you know, proofs after proofs kept coming. And they had to agree.
So whatever the information that was there in your mind, rather in the subconscious mind, according to that you are able to identify all these things.
Yes.
And they were amazed about it, and they came to conclusion. So because of identifying all these things correctly, they were convinced that you are really their daughter in the past life.
Yes.
Okay.
So after that, the mothers became good friends.
Two mothers.
Two mothers.
But
No,
only
my
for one daughter, there were two mothers.
Two mothers.
Past life mother, present life mother. Very good. Okay.
And now that Nairobi thing got cancelled.
What is
My
that?
mother had to go to Nairobi.
See.
My Nana, she came.
Ah,
My Nana, my mother's father came from Nasik.
Nasik.
And then they all thought what to do. Like, if they take me away from here,
Ah,
I may go mad or I may die.
ah. So,
I
the
mean-
present mother.
Yes, my grandfather, my mother's father,
Ah,
he said, don't take her away from them.
ah.
He bought a house for my mother and us to
In this
live,
life?
to live in Dehradun.
Ah,
He was a railway contractor.
ah.
All the bridges of those time, that are made on rivers
Reverse.
were made by my grandfather's.
That grandfather of the past life or this life?
This life, this
This life grandfather. So then there is some story going on that our child was the past life, she was their daughter. By chance they may take away. We don't want to lose her.
That's what.
Ah,
Lose her means then he loses his daughter also, no?
Yes.
The daughter has no one other than this child.
now
She just lost her husband.
your grandfather was thinking, my daughter has got only one child. Now by chance she identified that she was a daughter of somebody else in the past life. What about my own daughter? Without anybody, she would have become mad, thinking about, worrying about this.
So-
Like that she thought.
Yes. And one of my cousin sister, my mama's daughter,
Ah,
always lived with mummy, my mother.
Mother, okay.
Before her marriage also in Gurukul
Ah.
and after her marriage also.
It
with
is-
my father,
it
mother.
was quite natural because when you are born in this life, within some days, 20 days or what, 20 months,
40 days.
within 40 days your father was dead and mother needs somebody's help. So he has a relatives.
No. That sister of mine lived with my mother even in Gurukul.
Gurukul, okay.
When she was 1.5 years old, mummy brought her with her.
Okay,
And when mother got married, she took that child with her.
with her, okay.
So she enjoyed my father.
Yes.
She enjoyed my paternal family.
Family.
So, the weddings and all, my
All-
chachas got married over there. She enjoyed all that. She knows all that.
Okay,
I don't know much about
It-
my father at all.
okay.
So then they sent the other younger sister also, and we 3 sisters were brought up in Dehradun by my mother. And
No, that means to say one you, that is one mother. What about other two?
other two by my mother's brother's daughters.
Brother, daughter, and yourself were together.
My grandfather sent them all. The one was there already with my mother.
Mother.
Younger one also, and he put my mother's name as sleeping partner in his business.
In his business, okay.
So he used to send money every month for these children, for me, for my mother.
Mother. Because she lost her husband, so that gentleman was looking after all the children and this thing, okay.
So we stayed there. And it became like any time they would take me home, I'd stay there for 2-3 days, come back, stay here. Because my mother was a teacher to teach me. She had taught me from young age. She taught me all Havan mantras of Arya Samaj.
Arya Samaj.
And at 2 years that time, I could say all the
Chants.
tables. From 2 to 10, from anywhere you ask me, I could say that. So all this was my mother's work.
When this lady's past life parents were convinced, then they used to pick you up for some days in their house, 3 to 4 days, again they used to come back like that. Both mothers were enjoying the child life. Okay.
So that mother made friends with this mother because they were both from Gurukuls. They both knew Sanskrit. They used to talk. The discussion was all spiritual.
Spiritual discussion. So the ಇಬ್ಬರು ತಾಯಂದಿರು ಗುರುಕುಲದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ಸ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ದೆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಲೈಫ್, ದೇರ್ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ದೇ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಮೋರ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್.
More like friends.
Okay.
So that is it. My aunt from Africa, there were 2 aunts. One was my mother's sister. She was in Nairobi. And my mother's brother was in Mombasa. So his wife and my Masi and tenant in my Masi's house. She also was like a mommy to me. So my clothes used to come from there. Beautiful frocks used to come from there.
From Nairobi?
From Nairobi, from Mombasa.
Yes, okay.
And my Pitaji, my Taji over here, or my mother, they did not get any opportunity to buy clothes for me. Because mine were like imported clothes coming from London and all, no? They were sold here. So one day, I'm just fast forwarding. One day, my father wanted to take me and buy some clothes for me. That mother told my mummy, he wants to take her, don't say no. Mummy said, just now a parcel of 27 frocks have come. What will I do with that? She said, no, don't say no, because he feels bad when you say no. So we went out and he bought 3 pieces of cloth to be made into frocks for me.
That is past life mother?
Father.
Past life mother or father?
Father. We all went.
You all went?
We all went.
No, you received about 27 frocks.
That was how, parcels used to come.
Parcel used to come, it was there.
This was the latest parcel.
So, when from their heart, for their satisfaction, they want to give you some frocks.
Something to buy for me. He was going to Missouri in a few days. So she said, don't refuse. He feels bad when you say no. So my 2 mothers, my father, my sister, younger sister. Younger among those 2 sisters.
Sisters, okay.
We went there. And he bought all this. Then he said, when I come back from Missouri, I'll buy you from the more expensive place.
Okay.
And we came back home. On the way, we dropped him at the lawyer's place and we came home. And that is I finish it here. I keep it the rest of the portion I'll tell you later, because that ends the thing.
Okay.
So in between coming and going happened.
Okay.
Yeah. And I could not say that he's not my father or she's not my mother.
Yes.
Even now.
Yes.
I can't say.
Because what is called their body part. Why we love other children? Because our body part went to them. So that's why that attachment will be there. Okay.
Yeah. So it so happened that when my husband died, and digressing from there to explain it, there was some lady who used to scan people. When my husband died, she was working on my husband. My daughter said, you scan my mother also. She said, something funny, I can see 2 mothers. How can there be 2 mothers?
So,
because both of them had their hand in my upbringing. That way.
So, in what type of scan that was?
I don't know.
Whether somebody who is having a spiritual knowledge, if they concentrate on your mind, they can say, I am seeing that 2 mothers
That must be that.
Behind this girl. Like that is, that type of scan, not our medical scan.
No, not medical. No, not medical scan.
No.
Then again,
it so happens when somebody sees some other fellow, they were able to predict their present, past and future also.
Yes.
At that time, she would have thought that you got an attachment to two mothers. Okay.
Then many years later, a friend of mine, she invited me for lunch, and she invited another friend of hers for lunch. That girl was a astrologer, very, very good astrologer.
Okay.
She saw my patri, and she said something, I don't know, two mothers she could see. She said, was there any divorce or anything? I'm seeing two mothers.
Two mothers.
Then I told her, I said, this is how you are seeing two mothers. Someone else has also seen earlier to this. So, I mean,
she has seen your horoscope of this life. In this life,
people have seen my mother, like two mothers.
Now, whatever the birth time, place of birth, time of birth, and this thing. So, you are a Makara Lagna woman.
Okay.
So, Purva Punyadipati Shukra and is sitting Purva Punyat, that is 9th house from Lagna. There Buddha is exalted and Shukra is also there. Even though in that house Shukra is debilitated, he is with exalted planet, that Nichabanga Raja Yoga. So this intelligence is from not only this life, from the past life. In that sense, she would have, as an astrologer, usually most of the good astrologer will have a sixth sense, and they will catch this idea, not everybody. Okay.
So in between life, I mean, I was coming and going, and it was normal for me.
No.
But I would say people should not remember, because people look at you. It is a type of
torture.
People look at you with different eyes.
Yes.
They don't look at you as normal. I want to be normal.
Yes.
That my mother had asked me to come back and remember to. I did that for my mother. But beyond that, what?
Yes.
I mean, people should not trouble me.
Okay.
That day, the day I remembered, and it spread like wildfire in the town, a small town. People used to come to see me. As I told you, they would touch feet and they would put garlands and all, and Devi, 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 they would say. So I would get...
In the same way, when I hypnotized and treated one boy, Prakash, from Sante Sargur, Egdevan Kote Taluk, who was a deaf and mute. In the mental hospital, I treated through hypnosis and mesmerism, magnetic passes. He was able to remember his 10th life. And he started, afterwards I gave suggestion to remember that particular life, which was important, out of 18 lives. That particular life you remember within 15 days. I gave a suggestion to his, and without any disturbance to you. Then all of a sudden he remembered. He started speaking in Malayalam, a language he never learnt in this life, not as a Malayali, but as a Pandit of Malayalam, repeating slokas of Malayalam. And he started treating other people. Instantly he became an astrologer, because he was astrologer there. So he was able to sense, you got this problem. You give 200 rupees and one coconut. I am going to cure you. And people gave, they were having problems, and he was able to this thing. Why I am telling this matter in the Nimmans in Bangalore, when this boy started doing all these things, it spread like a wildfire, and it came in the newspaper also. And they conducted afterwards, they arranged one function where I demonstrated that boy. So you told the wildfire, because something new. A fellow without learning the language in this life started speaking in different language. That is called genealogy. Like that, This in 6,000 cases, there are so many cases where they have taken those people to past life places. They immediately start speaking in that language. They never learnt in this life.
Okay.
Because all such things are happening, we don't have any other way we can't disprove them. We have to accept the reality. That's what happened in Sri Lanka and so many other places also. The boys from other places came to that place. They were not knowing the language. When they met, automatically they started. Now I got a logical sense to all these things.
Okay.
Suppose in your mobile, particular this thing you touch, the information will come out. Particular.
Okay.
This mobile was created by this mind. It is 10 times stronger than this.
Right.
Whenever they remember the click, naturally that knowledge will come.
Yeah.
So, okay, tell them.
So those parents, they arranged for a day. They said, okay, on this day, whoever wants to come and see her can come. So,
and you mean to say, they came to know that there is a girl who remembers her past life.
People,
No. Then they want to
see.
Your darshan, how she looks. So that is not their problem.
Yes.
When we are studying,
Correct.
no, I was anxiety. The people who remembering
Right.
their past life, how they look, I told him also. I was having, now we are meeting that lady. In fact, after studying so many cases, once I went to Sakuntala Devi, the mathematician. She was in Bangalore. So I went and asked her. She told certain things. Now I came here not to the astrology. I try to get the date and time of birth of the people who remember past life.
Okay.
And after giving that to you, whether by seeing that, what made them to remember their past life according to astrology, can you do that? I told, I will try, she told. I have sent some few date of birth.
Okay.
And she never answered again.
Oh, okay.
And I came to know that she was not that well versed in astrology. Because of this,
Maths.
she made a name. Everybody was going and she is telling me certain things. You are not happy from this thing, like all these things she told. Rather, I was very happy at that time. Then I told, Madam, it is not so. Because the people go to astrologers when their time is bad. She thought that maybe his time is bad, he has come.
You come for that.
For that, they will tell like that. Then I told, rather I am very happy man, I don't have any pain. Because I am running a Sukradesha at that time. All my desires were fulfilled. I got good practice, everything. They say, oh, your practice is, your job is not well. In the house there is some problem. All these things she told. So she is a mathematical genius.
Yes.
But we have to respect her for a mathematical genius. But she took to astrology so that people will think that whatever she tells.
Yeah.
But I found there is nothing. I came for this purpose, not for my astrology. See, according to this, how can it happen? And Sukradesha is running. So I this thing I don't anyway. I don't want to argue with you. I told her, you do, whether you can, with your knowledge of mathematics, can you come to some conclusion? These people are remembering because of this particular planetary position. I asked her, I will try, she told. I gave some few addresses and came back. Again, she has not contacted me. Oh, come on now.
So that day, I was telling you about, that day was fixed, and that day there was between 4,000 to 5,000 people who came to see.
Okay.
And I was again, I said, मैं कोई तमाशा हूँ, what is happening? people, just so many people around one child. And now, when we were making this house, the third house from here, there was an older lady. She said, I had come that day to see you.
Oh, okay.
Then I met a
There also she was neighbor, here also she become neighbor.
No, there I don't know where she was.
Okay.
But then I met another lady. She was 80 years old. Can I call you beta? I said, yes. I was 60 at that time. So she said, and she said, I didn't come to see you, but this is what I know. And she knew the correct story.
Story of
Because those who take from me or my mother, they make mistakes while printing it. They add their own things.
Yeah.
But this lady knew it. She was a general's wife. She knew it all properly. So then, once I was lying, that is a more interesting thing. We were lying under the sky, and I told my mother, I said, there is day and night in the stars also, and in the moon also. She said, how do you know? I said, when I flew away, I went there. I never said I died. I used to say I flew away. She said, what else did you see there? I said, there were many pyare Bhagwan the, nice gods there. She said, oh, you went to Bhagwanji? I said, no, I didn't go to Omji. Omji is one single. But there were pyare Bhagwan. So both my mothers said, she's saying for two good Atmas over there, whom she would have seen, met there. So then she also asked, what did you eat there? I said, I didn't eat anything. Atma doesn't eat. She said, so bhukhi rehti thi? I said, no. Bhukhi bhi nahi rehti thi. Then she said, what did you wear? I said, I didn't wear anything. Atma? She said, nangi rehti thi. I said, no. Then she said, kaise ghar kaise the? What kind of house did you live in? I said, oh, you're talking like there are no houses like this, brick and mortar houses. Then I also spoke about how I died. I said my legs were hurt very badly, and then someone wrung them, like you wring the clothes, squeeze them. And then my arms were hurting, and then someone squeezed them. Then he said, I said, there was lots of pain in my head. And then I flew away. So till then I used to make very sad faces. And when I ud gayi, I would be happy.
No.
And then I told her, I went here and I went there, and I don't know how I came to you. So in between that I couldn't tell you.
So first when you leave the body, first you have seen sad faces.
No, nothing.
Oh, only good faces.
That was,
good faces.
only good people.
Good people. Because you entered a particular plane of existence where happy people were there.
Yeah.
And you seen them and you were there. And how long you were there?
I was born after 4.5 years. Over there I don't know.
From the death date in the past life.
Till my birth.
Death. You know death date also, this life birth date also.
Yeah.
That is 4.5.
4.5 years.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
In between that 4.5 years experience, can you tell us something when you were there?
Yes, these are the two, and there was more which I can't think of now. But I did speak something more.
There.
Now this birth, I saw about that.
Okay.
And when my grandmother died, my present Nani. My mother's
mother dead in this life, yes.
My mother was crying. So I said, why are you crying? What? There is no dukh over there. There's only sukh over there. Like that. And one thing which I have come to know in 1985 about myself, I'll tell you something else also. So that my sister, I told you, from the one who lived with my mother.
Past life mother?
No, this mother.
This mother.
In Kurukul, and then with my father. That sister told me. She said, when you were young, Ammaji was my nani and her dadi. she was telling us stories. You know, all the children sitting together. She was telling us a story. And she said, okay, there is this old woman sitting in the moon. She is doing this charkha katre. So I said, nahi, Amma ji ko kuch nahi malum. Amma ji galat bol rahi hain. And I went out and I brought 2 stones. And I said, wahan aise patthar hote hain. Koi buddhi nahi charkha kaat rahi. Like that. I didn't come to know. She said, in 69, when Neil Armstrong went there and all this thing came, I said, our Goody told us long back. But I myself didn't know that I had said that.
What Neil Armstrong told?
No, about he went to moon and
Moon, what he found there?
I don't know, must be rocks. The rocks came from there,
told.
no?
Okay.
For that, about that.
So you mean to say after death they may also land automatically on some planet?
Somewhere, here, there, somewhere.
They have told, or any meteorite or something.
And you were talking about birthmarks. So in 1976, I was, or maybe end of 75, because Dr. Stevenson came in 76. So there is a
birthmarks.
Just a small
birthmark.
So I told my mother, I was reading in a book. My husband used to buy, you know, out of curiosity. Whenever he saw any book on reincarnation, he would buy.
Yes.
So I was reading stories over there. And one boy said that he came with a mark. So I told my mother, I said, we don't know about Bhagwan Ji. Maybe we come with a mark, but of course our bodies are all gone. It's something unbelievable. I just wrote to Dr. Stevenson. I said, absurd that it looks, but this is what I've come to know, that I've come with the mark. So my mother told me that
After going there?
No. I was born with the mark which I had even in the last birth.
Last birth. Why you are having that birth?
We can't.
But anyway, one mark was there.
With that, I came to know that Dr. Stevenson was doing research on it.
Yes.
Big research is done on that.
Yes.
So why we come back with marks? Of course, mine doesn't explain anything.
Okay.
But I came to know much later, because when that mother was giving birth to me, she saw this and she told my mother that even Munnu had that mark. And even her granddaughter had that mark. So they thought that is Munnu, and she said, we'll see about it, so she doesn't remember. But then when I came, and I also had this mark. Like that.
So that means to say, ಇವರ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಶೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಒಂದು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇತ್ತು.
There is a small dimple.
Pimple ಇತ್ತು.
A
dimple. The same thing was existing in his life also. In our reincarnation research, the scars or birthmarks of the past life also, we are able to see many cases. Such interesting cases.
Yes.
I will tell you, one fellow, he was not having all this thing, they were cut. Then he remembered. It is there in the Ian Stevens book. So this boy, Papa, ಆ ಹುಡುಗನಿಗೆ ಇದೇ ಬೆರಳೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು ನನಗೆ I was having a powder machine. In that powder machine, it was cut. Afterwards, I did. So because of that, such marks are there in dozens with our research. Okay.
So Dr. Stevenson showed me so many
other marks. Yes, I got whatever he showed you. I got all.
And lots were found in Burma. So the dacoits used to trouble them, and they whatever, no. So one boy was born with 7 birthmarks. Different birthmarks.
Okay.
And one boy was somewhere in the Middle East. He used to, graze his these
buffaloes are
the goats and sheep. So he was, and they go to sleep. Full day they are there, and so someone he thought there was a rabbit. So he shot there, and that thing went through his ear, and he died. This boy. when he was born next time, he used to look at that man and he used to abuse him. People said, why are you doing this? I mean, it has nothing to do with you. And he said, no, he did this to me. And it was
like that.
That man agreed.
In the same way, many hypnotists were able to hypnotize people to their past life, and they were able to talk how they did. That fellow is murdered, he killed me. Now, in this life they go there and identify this is the man, and the complaint was taken by the police, and this life the court, it was so much clear, this life, afterwards he accepted.
Yeah.
Oh, in the past life what I have done, he is telling. And now, let me tell the truth, he told, yes, I have the one killed, that mark was also there. Such cases are also there.
So I had just a mark which looked like a hole. And my sisters used to tease me, my cousins.
Dimple.
No, this one, it was like a mark of, they used to say, this has come from your past life. They used to tease me. I told this to Dr. Stevenson. Then he put torch over here and he found on this side. I said, it's only on one side.
This side also.
He found this side also. So, I mean, these have no meaning. We can't, they are not explaining anything. But birthmarks, because he heard of birthmarks, so he came to meet me.
He was very particular about the birthmarks. And now what I want to ask you, after your story, first, who published your story in the books? You don't
I
know.
wouldn't know.
Many people
but I know
came and
one thing, that a cousin of mine from past birth, he had written somewhere, I haven't seen, I don't know. But my mother, last birth mother told.
Last birth mother told. And
it kept coming, it seems it kept coming all over the world also.
This became a very interesting subject, and many people so started talking. And who are the important people of this world, like Dr. Ian Stevenson and all, they came and examined. You tell me about that.
You said, yes.
Dr. Ian Stevenson is one.
Yeah.
Number two, you met Sivananda also.
Sivananda.
Where you met Sivananda?
In his ashram only.
In his ashram you went there.
I found a photo of mine when I was 4 years old. I'm sitting in his lap.
Okay.
Then when I was 7 years old, that time also we went to his ashram. Those few photos were there with me. They are not anymore. But they are there in my mind.
Okay. What about Ian Stevenson?
Ian Stevenson, there was no.
No, once he came to meet you,
Yeah, I never gave importance to that. I could have asked him if we should take a photo together.
Well, not photo, but you met Ian Stevenson, met and interviewed you, and he also wrote in his books. Number one.
He clicked my photo.
No, I have particularly, he wrote 20 cases suggestive of reincarnation. One particular
mine
book.
Is not there.
In that book is not there. Some other book is there. So like that, he has made that. What about?
It is there somewhere, because when I went to America, I was looking for Dr. Stevenson. I didn't have his phone number or anything.
Phone number, Virginia.
So on the internet, I do not know how. Carol Bowman, have you heard her name?
Yes, I have.
She's become a very big researcher now. Yeah.
Yes.
She told me, she said, send me your story and I'll find out. So she said, I've read your story in his papers.
Papers, yes. And what about Satwant Pasicha, one who was investigating spontaneous recall of rebirth in India as a assistant to Ian Stevenson, met you in this life?
Yes.
Where you met? She was also in Bangalore.
She was in Bangalore.
She came to your house?
She came.
She met. Okay.
In the early 70s only.
Okay.
She came and she would come with a questionnaire, then she would ask for more and all that.
Not only those, such people met. I also came and met you in 82. So in your house. And here is a good tamasa. I already published a story both in Kannada and English magazine. And then I interviewed you, then you told, I am Mridula. Then
you
what
said, yes, she's Mridula from Nasik. Yes, yes. Doctor, this is my story. Yes, yes, Mridula from Nashik.
Yes.
Then I said, I am Mridula from Nashik.
You told. Then it is not necessary to cover you 1 or 2 points, some mistake you told at that time. That you have to little
So
correction.
those mistakes everyone makes, I just don't know
Yes,
why.
no, because they will hear something and write something.
Like Satwant has written that about my sister's son's mundan. Because there was a time when Hindus were not doing mundan for girls. But Arya Samaj doesn't believe in all that. Arya Samaj keeps them at power. So she doesn't have a son. How can you write a son? And this Jim
Carter Jim.
No. James, what is his name? Just now I was reading in there. He said, no, I cannot go by you because Satwant has written this. I said, there is no son. How can she write a son? So she's changed my mother's words, like, you know.
Sometimes it happens from writer to writer. Okay. So what else you want to tell about?
You were asking me something and I said, yes, I don't know what it was.
No, what I was asking, at the time of death, your mother requested you, past life mother, hey Magu, ba, Mummy, I will come back, like that you left this thing. That particular this thing made you to...
The strong impression that you take, I tell everyone, you come back with that. And that is what tells us about the marks also. Of course, this is meaningless, what I have. But the others who come with those cut marks and like you told just...
No, it is not only like that. One particular boy, all of a sudden, developed is in left foot, some mark like this.
Okay.
Beginning it was not there. At the age of 18 or so. And if a tire runs over, afterwards we got injured and then when it is healed, it looks like that. Such mark there. Then you go to astrology, particular Grahagati time, he developed that. So in our medical science, we can't give any explanation. From beginning, it will not be there.
Yes.
All of a sudden, a scar will develop as though he was run over by a tire or something, lorry or something.
Okay.
They identified past life lorry ran over there. And that mark was not from the time of birth. It developed in a particular dasa.
Oh, okay.
So, because in particular dasa only, particular karma will come. So they will develop. That is also there. So, if we know astrology, we can correlate with all these things. So,
someone was telling me the other day, she is an astrologer, and she said, I said, how are you related to this reincarnation? She said, through astrology we can see the 8th house, the 9th house.
No, not 8th house, 5th house.
Okay.
It is called as Purva Punyasthana, Putra Bhagyasthana.
Okay.
So, in that, we will make out. That is not only one life. Purva Punyat, from there 5th house. No, in your case also, I have charted whatever the birth, your date of birth. You are a Makra Lagna woman. From there, Purva Punyadipati is Sukra. That is 5th house, that's Rushabha Rasi. From that, again, 5th house is Kanya.
Okay.
In Kanya, actually, Shukra is depleted.
Okay.
But he is with a exalted planet of that Buddha. And one more planet is there. So that may be one of the reason.
Okay.
So, like that, there are a lot of things, the mystery. That's what I was telling the other day. When Buddha was going with all his the disciples, they asked, Sir, you know all the knowledge of this thing. You are so great and all. Then he picked up some leaves there, handful of leaves. See how many leaves are here. How many leaves are in the whole forest? I know only this much. The knowledge is so much. This thing.
Yes.
And Buddha was able to talk like that. What are all ordinary people knowledge? So now still the whole universe is in our mind, because it can communicate anywhere and everywhere, just a click. Because that stimulus of the particular area, whatever that is, just like very common. Now you are sitting. Now I will tell. You know Dr. Radhakrishnan, ex-president. Yes. If I ask you to write, you can write one story about him. Next you ask Mahatma Gandhi, you will write. Anybody you ask, you can write. So some man has done the work on this. Whatever information is there in one's head, if we start writing daily 24 hours, even 3,000 years is not enough to unload all this information. That also I published in my thesis.
Okay. So you were asking about Swami Shivananda.
Shivananda, yes.
I met her when I was 7 years old. That time also pictures were taken, and there was one Vishnu Swamiji in his ashram at that time, whom he sent to America. Later one doctor over here told me that he is known as flying sadhu.
Flying sadhu.
Because he had his own helicopter and he used to reach wherever he was needed.
Wanted to go.
So I have a photograph which I've sent to you.
Okay.
So he was interviewing me when I was 7 years old.
He is also
and
one.
There was a photo with Swami Shivananda also at 7 years of
you
age.
Give that photo.
That I don't have, that you can click and give me.
From your mind.
And there was one Swami, Brahmanand, Nath Brahmanand. He was in the music section. I had a photo with him also. That photo is also gone, but I have of his music room. But one without him. But I know his face also. I remember that. Then when I was 10 years old, I was more than 11 and a half or something. Then we had gone to both my mothers. We had gone to another Swami's ashram for dhyan and all that. Across the river, there's Ganga in between. His ashram is this side, and where we had gone was across the river. So one day, both my mothers, they came to Swami Shivananda's ashram, and we were sitting in the kirtan that was going on. He spotted me. After the kirtan, he said, "Mridula, Mridula," and he called me. And then I've sent that photo.
Okay.
So both my mothers are on the side, I'm in his lap, and he gave us all whatever they made in the ashram, chavanprash and biscuits and hair oil and his books and all that. He gave to both my mothers. So then we were in touch with so many sadhus, Swamiji. I told you the one whom I told, when did you tie your clothes? He had gone from Prachar to Nairobi. And there in the Arya Samaj, he told my story. My aunt, she stood up, my mother's sister. She said, "That is my niece." Like that. So it has gone from one place to another. I don't know who has written where.
Actually, people were little unaware. Here and there, the stories were there, they were not published. When Mahatma Gandhi came to know about Shanti Devi of Delhi, he formed a committee consisting of MPs and judges. He sent there, and they came and told all the story. It is real. Then it was published somewhere in 1933. It spread like a wildfire throughout the world. That is the first story came out. That is the first story I covered in my both Kannada and English. Then I wrote, "Shanti Deviya Smarane Vishwa Shantige Nandiyagabodu." Because they remember, And we are fighting for only three things: nationality, religion, and language. So in every life, different language, different nation, different. So even those are our illusion. So when you understand that, we don't want to hate anybody, any language, or any nationality. When you won't hate any of these three things, there will be a world peace.
Right.
Like that I wrote in my book. Any other thing you want to tell?
There was so much that I spoke that
At that
day.
time,
Yes. I don't remember now. Like there was a neighbor, and these people had formed, like nowadays we have kitties and all. So with my father, I used to go even now in this birth, and where they did exercises. So the main man over there, the leader kind, he was called Kutum Saab. So I recognized him. This is Kutum Saab.
And this in this life you are recognized the past life Kutum Saab. Okay. Now you are aged about 73.
Almost.
Almost. So you tell me one thing. Within 10 years you are remembering so much. Now some of these things you have forgotten, still you are able to remember.
Yes, I remember, and because there was so much interaction, no?
Now.
I don't know what is from back and what is from, but
This.
I remember the day I met them and when I went home. I remember that very clearly.
Now.
And when I said कि झंडा ऊंचा रहे हमारा, all that I remember.
Now suppose this life mother is there. You think of your mother. Naturally her image will come in your mind. If you think of Vidhan Saudai, photo will come. In the same way, your past life mother and father, their picture will come. When they think of, their picture will come to your mind. It is coming.
Yeah.
That shows that you even we forget all those things of the past life. It is stored in the form of audio and video in our
No,
nerve
I
cells.
was there with them, no, through
Yes.
till the end, like.
Yes. Like that.
So there, this thing coming is no big thing.
Now, these type of stories are there, the people will do. My next step is thoughtography.
Photography.
In thoughtography, because you are a living legend now, and already your story, all this thing, it was covered in many newspaper, magazines,
Yeah.
and many.
Till now, people write. Even now,
they are writing. So maybe some remember on that side, this side, but you remembered exactly the past life. Now, I am trying to not only this oral evidence, I want to give them photographic evidence. That is thoughtography. So now you concentrate. That will not that easily come.
Okay.
You have to concentrate on your mother, past life mother image. Then you project. I think you have already projected at some such mobile, and some laziness came there. Something came there. So you try for some time. By chance, that appear. So here is a scientific lady. ಇಂಥ ಸ್ಟೋರಿಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ, ಕೆಲವುದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಲಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ನಾವು ಥಾಟೋಗ್ರಫಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ ಇವರು ಓದ್ ಜನ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳನ್ನೇ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿನ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಇದನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಎ ರಿಸೀವಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್, ಥ್ರೂ ಐಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಎ ರಿಸೀವಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್.
How amazing it is.
So in the brain, our occipital region, this eye, occipital is for the eye. Those cells, they definitely got information. We see Lal Bagh, so many places. All those photos are here now. Now that photo can be projected outside and we can photograph. Now my research ends. When it ends, if I hypnotize a boy and regress to his past life, he gives so many oral evidence, his father name, mother name, house, all details. That is on one side. Now we ask him to concentrate on his past life, father, mother, brothers, everybody, one by one, and ask him to project it. Take a photo. If photo comes, and this photo, he is unaware of it because he was hypnotized.
Where does the photo come?
On the mobile.
Okay.
Some photography. There are so many types. Old photography is different.
Okay.
Thoughtographic studies an extraordinary mind. That actually I brought that camera once. Polaroid camera. There is something like Polaroid camera.
Yes.
So, in that camera you project. Then you take out the photo, already print will be there automatically. There is the color photo in Polaroid camera. If such photos comes, then if you take that photo and oral evidence, this boy is unaware. You go to that place, say Delhi or Bombay, whatever the information, we got the address. Now you have sent the location, we came to your house. In the same way, go to that location and there whatever people relation he told, all their photo already there. Such people are really there. Then what else? So no idiot scientist will ask better proof than that.
Yes.
That's what this thing. And one particular person by name Ted, he was able to project his thoughts in such a way it can be photographed.
Okay.
One particular doctor who is a psychiatrist, when he came to know that, he asked him to project so many things. And a book was published, the book is with me.
Oh, okay.
So suppose one particular building, say Vidhan Sauda, that Vidhan Sauda, you project means you project and Vidhan Sauda photo come to Polaroid camera.
Oh, God.
So such things are there. But at that time, the electronic technology was not much.
Now, if you take of the photographs that I remember, there's a proof that it is true. Because I remember the photos that I saw when I was young.
Now, I will try to get that Polaroid camera and give it to you. So, Polaroid camera is such a camera. There is one particular sheet. So, when you click it, automatically a color photo will come there. You take out in Polaroid camera. So, wherever we click, we get this thing. Now, he was able to do that, one person.
Okay.
Why he was able to do? He was little alcoholic. The alcoholic people go to subconscious and they were able to project this thing. Then I purchased one Polaroid camera, I tried. At that time, this technology was not developed. Now if somebody comes forward to not give the money, this instrument, and I can try on so many people. Nowadays I am not doing hypnotism on anybody.
Okay.
I have done a lot of these things.
Okay.
Only for research purpose I used to do. Because that is more important. So I am thinking in that line. Now you try to concentrate for some time about your past life father. This life don't worry. Past life father, mother, or even this life also you take the photo of your son. Now we are getting the photo of your son. The son is not there. Without your son you can get a photo. At that time, so any photo, anything we have seen, It was there in some forum inside. No, how can it happen, all these things? Now this is what TV is doing. Our great poet is there. ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕುವೆಂಪುಗೆ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು, ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಕವಿ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ, ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. He was knowing, he was a great man. But once his son-in-law, Dr. Surendra, who was working as an orthopedician in Martha's hospital, he went to foreign and purchased this audio video camera. He came without showing to him. He was coming to the house from near the compound. He photographed him, everything, and they were also talking. So everything again rewinded. Then they have shown, what is this? Kuempu. He is like me only, and he is talking like me. Whether it is my devil or what, 1 or 2 days he has never come to his proper senses. It is written in his biography. I have read his biography. So even though great people are there, this thing, when we don't know something and it's amazing for the first time, without telling anything, they don't know. You go to village side, take the photos and show them. What is this? Like that, our great Kuempu also wondered. ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೃದುಲಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ಗೆ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದೋ ನಾವು. ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಕನ್ನಡ, ಸಿ ಸ್ಪೋಕ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಟು ಸಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಹಿಂದಿ. ಈಗ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೆಲವು ವಿಚಾರಗಳಿದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟು ಅವ್ರ ಮೈಂಡಲ್ಲಿರೋ, ಅವ್ರ ಥಾಟಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ನ ಇವ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ತಗೊಂಡು ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಎವಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಸೆ ಇದೆ. ವಿಚ್ ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ಸ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕಲಿ 100%. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಮೆಥಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಹೌ ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಫ್, ಫಾದರ್, ಮದರ್. ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮೈಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗೆ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್. ದೆನ್ ಇಫ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್, ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ photograph through Polaroid camera. Already one particular TED series in America was able to project his thought in such a way it can be photographed. It was the book was written about this. That is the only means to give 100% scientific proof for reincarnation. So I wrote, already published this. I have given the methodology how to do it. If anybody does it in the world, it is very good. That's why I gave all the method to them in my thesis. So ಇವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿಂದಿ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟಾಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಹರ್ ಸಮ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಮೈ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರೋ ಜನತೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಅದು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಆಮೇಲಿಂದ. ಓಕೆ, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ನೌ